Hello and welcome to the viewers of this video. This is the Orange Fan here, bringing you another entry for the episode Recap and Thoughts category. This video will be dedicated to the B segment of episode 47 of Codename Kids Next Door, Operation Munchies. We begin this segment at the Sector V treehouse, where we see number 3 telling her teammates in a rather panicked manner that they've run out of something. Number 2, number 4, and number 5 do not take this news very well, but number 1 tries to stay calm, and he assures his teammates that there has to be more somewhere, and they're going to find it no matter what it takes. So the Sector V operatives proceed to send multiple tennis ball probes throughout the town in the hopes of finding whatever it is that they're looking for. One of the tennis ball probes lands in a supermarket, and after searching through the supermarket for a little while, the tennis ball probe locks onto an item. Suddenly, a shopping cart unknowingly rams into the tennis ball probe, which deactivates it. Back at the Sector V treehouse, we see that number 5 is the one who's monitoring the locations of the various tennis ball probes, and the tennis ball probe that deactivated had deactivated before it could provide a clear reading on the item that it locked onto, so number 5 doesn't know what this item is. Number 3 tells her teammates that the location of the deactivated tennis ball probe is the location of what it is that they're looking for, and when her teammates inquire her about how she could possibly know this, number 3's response is, in her words, she can taste it. We then head back to this supermarket, and we see that it's called the Supervillains Supermarket and Deli. Sure enough, this supermarket is filled with many members of the Kids Next Door's Rogues Gallery shopping there, and one of the villains shopping there right now is none other than Father. Eventually, Father comes across the last box of a Rainbow Monkey themed cereal known as Rainbow Munchies, and Father is quite happy to see that he's found the last box of this cereal in the store right now. Mr. Boss and Count Spankulot hear that Father has found the last box of Rainbow Munchies, and we see that Mr. Boss and Count Spankulot are big fans of Rainbow Munchies too. But before anything else can happen among these 3 villains, the Sector V operatives break through the roof of the supermarket, and number 4 launches a mattress at Father. The mattress knocks Father back quite a distance, and eventually number 1 manages to trap Father in a barbecue grill, and then number 1 places a lock onto the barbecue grill to keep Father inside, and Father is not happy about this. Number 3 goes to grab the Rainbow Munchies, but Count Spankulot manages to grab the box of cereal. But then number 5 trips Count Spankulot, and he falls into some garlic, much to his dismay. So number 5 has the box of cereal now. Mr. Boss chases after number 5, but he's also enlisted the help of 2 ice cream men. He's promised the ice cream men 2 scoops of cereal if they can get the Rainbow Munchies for him. Yes, he says whoever can get him the Rainbow Munchies box will be rewarded with 2 scoops of cereal. So Mr. Boss and 2 of the ice cream men are chasing after number 5. Eventually, number 2 breaks into the supermarket while riding a 2x4 technology vehicle known as the shopping dart. So the rest of the Sector V operatives manage to climb onto the shopping dart with number 2, and number 5 still has the Rainbow Munchies with her. And the shopping dart not only escapes from Mr. Boss and the 2 ice cream men, but yes, while they're in the shopping dart, they are able to knock Mr. Boss and the two ice cream men into, I believe it's ice cream if I'm not mistaken. So yes, the Sector V operatives are now in the shopping dart with the Rainbow Munchies, and they're trying to make their escape. But suddenly, Sticky Beard and Chewy and Gooey, while riding on a pirate-themed shopping cart, are chasing after the shopping dart for the Rainbow Munchies. Eventually, Sticky Beard manages to take the Rainbow Munchies from the Sector V operatives, and then the shopping dart crashes into some meat, which destroys the shopping cart. Or yes, the shopping dart is destroyed when it crashes into some meat. But number 5 is not willing to give up yet. Number 5 sees where Sticky Beard's pirate-themed shopping cart is right now, and she jumps on top of the different aisles, or the shelves of aisles, and she manages to claim 2 loaves of French bread while she's following after Sticky Beard, Chewy, and Gooey. With Chewy, Gooey, and Sticky Beard, they're gloating about how they managed to claim the Rainbow Munchies, but suddenly many other villains try to claim the Rainbow Munchies too. First up, crazy old cat lady has one of her cats take the Rainbow Munchies from Sticky Beard, but then Destructo Dad and Mega Mom take the Rainbow Munchies from crazy old cat lady, but then Mr. Fizz takes the Rainbow Munchies from Destructo Dad and Mega Mom, and then eventually Sticky Beard reclaims the Rainbow Munchies from Mr. Fizz. And after that's happened, number 5 manages to reach the pirate-themed shopping cart to reclaim the Rainbow Munchies, but Sticky Beard brags about how his candy cane sword is far superior than the loaves of French bread that number 5 has. So what number 5 does is she holds the loaves of French bread out onto the aisle shelves, and this causes the items to fall off the shelves and onto the pirate-themed shopping cart. So all of the items push Sticky Beard, Chewy, and Gooey off of the pirate-themed shopping cart, so now number 5 is controlling this shopping cart. The Toilinator starts to monologue about how... Yeah, the Toilinator monologues to himself about how it looks like he will finally have his chance to shine by being the one to defeat the kids next door. But then number 5 runs over the Toilinator with the pirate-themed shopping cart. She might have even done so not being aware of the fact that the Toilinator got run over. But yes, the Toilinator is now in pain, and the rest of the Sector V operatives climb aboard the pirate-themed shopping cart. So the Sector V operatives are on their way to the checkout aisle with the Rainbow Munchies, but suddenly they see that Father has escaped from the barbecue grill, and he's not happy. Activating his fire powers, Father destroys the pirate-themed shopping cart, and the Rainbow Munchies, number 5 is no longer holding the Rainbow Munchies. Father's fire powers also activate some popcorn, which baffles Father for a moment, but he just keeps his fire powers going, admitting that even though he hates the smell of burnt popcorn, he's going to make an exception for intimidation, and he demands that the Sector V operatives hand over the Rainbow Munchies, but number 5 admits that she no longer has the box, so Father, in a rather sinister manner, simply inquires number 5 who has the box now. And suddenly, Father and the Sector V operatives notice that Nightbrace has the Rainbow Munchies now, and he's he's at the checkout aisle now to purchase them. Father in a rhetorical question, Father rhetorically questions if Nightbrace intends to share the Rainbow Munchies with him. We know Father's trying to intimidate him to share the Rainbow Munchies, but Nightbrace clarifies he doesn't want to eat the Rainbow Munchies, he intends to destroy them because of his obsession with dental hygiene, which baffles not just the Sector V operatives, but all the other villains that tried to acquire the Rainbow Munchies, except the Toilinator, who's still in pain over what happened to his back. Number 1 then gets Father's attention. Number 1 says that desperate times call for desperate measures, so he offers to Father that they form a truce, and he offers his hand. Father shakes Number 1's hand and agrees to the truce, but only under the condition that it lasts until breakfast. Or he says the truce will end once they've completed breakfast. So after they've agreed to their truce, the Sector V operatives and the villains that all tried to get the Rainbow Munchies all prepare to beat up Nightbrace. Later on, we see the Sector V operatives and the villains who wanted the Rainbow Munchies are actually sharing the Rainbow Munchies with each other. And Number 2 even inquires if anyone has any more milk, and Count Spankulot volunteers to get some more milk. We see that that Nightbrace has been stuffed into the freezer where the milk is kept, and Nightbrace ends up giving the milk to Count Spankulot to give to Number 2, and Nightbrace, while he's still dazed after being beaten up, tries to remind everyone to brush after breakfast. So the Sector V operatives and these villains are continuing to enjoy their Rainbow Munchies, and the segment ends with the Toilinator burping really loudly and in a long way. Or yes, the Toilinator makes a very long and loud burp, and then he apologizes for the long and loud burp. And that's how we end this segment. So this segment features multiple villains appearing. And yes, I did mention in the recap and thoughts for this segment's sibling segment, Operation Lunch, that this segment, Operation Munchies, would feature some food that multiple age groups enjoy. In this case, it's the Rainbow Monkey themed cereal, Rainbow Munchies. And yes, kids and adults really enjoy Rainbow Munchies. The Sector V operatives really were desperate to find some more Rainbow Munchies, and even Father really wanted to have the Rainbow Munchies. And yes, although it is Rainbow Monkey themed cereal, it is amusing how Number 4 actually really likes the cereal, even though he's not the biggest fan of Rainbow Monkeys. But I guess whatever the ingredients for Rainbow Munchies are, they must be very delicious. Because yes, so many characters wanted the Rainbow Munchies. The only real exception was Nightbrace, who wanted to destroy the cereal because of his obsession with dental hygiene. And we did see that was not, that did not win him any favorable points, to say the least, even among his fellow villains. So while there were multiple villains in this segment, I guess you could argue that Nightbrace would probably be the one who's considered more so the focus villain, if only for the fact that he was the villain who didn't want the Rainbow Munchies, or he didn't want to eat the Rainbow Munchies, he just wanted them to destroy them. So I guess you could argue Nightbrace was the focus villain of this segment, even though there were multiple villains. And speaking of the villains that did appear, besides Father and Mr. Boss, the two of the main villains of the series, I should say, probably the two main adult villains, I should say. Let's see. Yes, Mr. Fizz had a brief appearance, and it won't be until season 6, but Mr. Fizz will get to be the focus villain again in a later entry in season 6. And Destructo Dad and Mega Mom actually had a speaking role, or yes, they each had speaking roles in this segment, which is the first time since their first appearance back in season 1's Operation Chad, because they have had cameo appearances in seasons 2 and season 3 as well, but yes, this is the first time they've actually spoken since season 1. And again, Destructo Dad and Mega Mom's appearance here kind of reminds me about how I do feel it was a missed opportunity that Destructo Dad and Mega Mom haven't interacted with their son, number 274, after all three of the characters first appeared in Season 1's Operation Chad. I definitely would have, yes, I would have been interested in seeing Destructo Dad and Mega Mom interact with number 274 after he betrayed the Kids Next Door organization. Otherwise, any other... Oh, that's right. Yes. Even though multiple villains were hoping to acquire the Rainbow Munchies, there were some other villain cameos in this segment, but they were more so at the beginning of the, or not really the beginning of the segment, but just before the Sector V operatives arrived, just before Father found the last box of Rainbow Munchies, there were a few other notable cameo appearances. Grandma Stuff'em, Big Brother were some cameo appearances, and Professor Triple Extra Large had a cameo appearance. And in Professor Triple Extra Large's case, he had snail characteristics now. Yes, this was the new animal traits he had for this cameo appearance, snail traits. And once again, yes, I did think it would have been interesting if Professor Triple Extra Large had more appearances, especially in light of what happened in his last major appearance, Operation College, where he actually got along with number 1 pretty well. It would have been cool if, yes, I think that would have been cool to see more of number 1 and Professor Triple Extra Large's bond over their interest in snow cones. That would have been pretty interesting to see if you wanted my 2 cents. So, otherwise, I guess another detail is this is the second time where we've seen the Ice Cream Men affiliated with Mr. Boss. The first time was earlier in Season 4 in Operation Macaroni. So this is another example of the Ice Cream Men being affiliated with Mr. Boss, even though they're usually affiliated with Father and the Delightful Children from down the lane. Otherwise, yeah, that might actually be about it for this particular segment. So this was definitely a very humorous segment. We see that not just the Sector V operatives, but many adult villains also enjoy Rainbow Monkey themed cereal, and they were actually able to put aside their differences for the sake of stopping Nightbrace so that they could all share the cereal. And yes, I did like seeing a few cameo appearances in this segment, although it did also reminded me of certain things that I felt were missed opportunities in the series. But yes, that's right. Speaking of the villains all sharing the cereal at the end, I thought that was actually pretty heartwarming, because usually the Kids Next Door and the adult villains are constantly battling with each other. So seeing them actually putting aside their differences to share cereal with each other, that was actually pretty heartwarming. So yeah, that was a surprisingly heartwarming way to end a very funny segment, if you wanted my 2 cents on the matter. So otherwise, yes, I believe that's about it. So as of this video, we've now discussed the B segment of episode 47 of Codename Kids Next Door on this channel. Take care, and until next time.